All right, guys, welcome back to another one. This is with the new project car. It was good till it wasn't. Crank no start, then it would start out of nowhere and then just die on you. So it ended up, the previous owner botched together all these wires. This is the crank position sensor right here. It was actually flop down onto your exhaust manifold. If you can see that, it's all burnt up. And also the wire was laying on the exhaust as well, fried that. So that's causing me my intermittent no start or just randomly dies while I'm driving. So we're gonna replace that. Got the new sensor right here. It was only like 18, actually it was like $8 off Amazon. And then to get to that, you're gonna have to, I loosened up the wiring harness so I can move it out of the way. There's just one 8mm bolt, so then you can freely move it so you don't break anything. And then right down here off your exhaust manifold, you're gonna have to reach clear down, and it's gonna be a 10mm bolt. So, let's see. So it's this guy right here. And there's no way I can get it on camera because it's too tight. But you're gonna have to reach clear down. It's gonna be on top of the bell housing. So once you get that nut loose, then you can actually grab your sensor and pull it out. And it's not easy. This is a pain in the butt. Okay, so once you get that loose, you can pull it out. And this is it. So as you can see, it's been grinding on it. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be or not. But here's the new one, exact same. And this is for 6-speed, the manual. So it'll all work out. Make sure you get the right one, you compare it. Now it's time to try and install it, which is a pain. And yes, you're gonna cut up your hands and everything. All right, so with your sensor, it is gonna be kind of hard to push back in because that gasket, that little O-ring, is obviously not compressed like the old one. So you're gonna wanna get some grease. And what I do is I like to get some along that rubber O-ring. So that way when you get it in there, it'll slide in, it won't pinch or tear that, because that's the last thing you want. So now it's time to fish this in.
Okay.
All right, so we got the crank sensor bolted up. It's a pain in the ass. You're gonna have to reach down in there. If you got big hands, you ain't gonna get in there. So find somebody with smaller hands. As far as this connector, it was burnt. So come over here, let me show you. So I'm gonna have to order a new connector. It's the female end, and it's what the prongs actually go into. So just a test theory that this will help with the crank no start. As a temporary, I just hooked up these little butt connectors and then put them on the posts. They are sleeves so they don't arc against each other. And this is hopefully gonna be the crank no start that I've been getting. So let's go ahead and start it up, hopefully. All right, so now that we know that we got the crank no start taken care of, because what would happen is I'd have to disconnect the ECU to reset it, and then I could get it started. As soon as I'd shut the car off, it would not restart again. And with that wire being burnt, I mean, the old one was pretty bad. I don't know where that one's at. Oh, right here. So with these sensors, they're pretty finicky. So, I mean, it's been burnt, and you got some bare metal right there from the wire. That touches your exhaust like it was, you're not going to get a start, or it'll intermittently just shut off every time it grounds itself out. So check your crank position sensor. If you got a crank no start on a 2000 Audi S4, A4, doesn't really matter, just check that out. Okay, so I went and drove it around just to prove that even when it's hot, warmed up, it'll still fire right up. It fires right up, not have any issues so far. So I'm pretty sure that solved the crank no start, and already it's 100% better. I'm not getting like the random misfires I was getting before, because at idle it would just sit there and you could hear it backfire a little bit. But it's actually running a lot smoother. It's amazing what a grounded wire will do. But with these Audis, they're really touchy, as I'm figuring out, and they're kind of a pain in the ass. I don't know if I made a mistake buying it, but it's working good now, so I'm gonna move on to finding a boost leak, but that'll be in another video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, there's plenty more videos on this, and I'll have to let the wife get out and rip on it, see what she thinks, because she has yet to do that. So all right, stay tuned for many more on this car.